Hi guys, it's Mary with Big on Books. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to 2021. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. 2020 was, I mean, confined to wherever we were was just, I mean, it gave us plenty of time to read, I'm sure, but like, I just did not want to actually be reading a lot. Actually most of what I did read was manga, and some of those are like thick books, but like at the same time they're like comics. But it isn't bad. I enjoy them a lot. I missed my reading goal by one, which I really hated. So I don't think I'm going to do a reading goal this year on Goodreads. I think this year it's just gonna be a take it slow, whatever you want. I don't really mind doing that because I know I have time. I have like 300 or so books in my TBR, but at the same time it's like, yeah, I don't really want to like rush through my books because I want to read as many books as I can, but I don't want to put it at 75 if I know I'm only going to read like 40 or something. But along with reading what I want, I'm just going to tell you guys right now in this video what books I want to start off 2021 with or read throughout 2021. So let's get started. And actually some of these I've kind of already started. They're just like finish up from 2020. Actually the only one is Midnight Sun, and I feel really bad for saying this because I was so excited for Midnight Sun, but I think it's just because the chapters are extremely long and Edward's thoughts are extremely wordy because he like has a lot of thoughts. I am not even halfway through this, so I need to finish this. I don't think if there was a Edward's point of view of New Moon or throughout the entire series, like just make one for ever. Just make a point of view book from Edward's point of view for all 4 books. I don't think I'd read all of them, but that might change when I finish Midnight Sun. But we'll see. The next book I started a few days ago. It's Working on a Song, Lyrics of Hadestown by Nace Mitchell. I talked about this in my What I Got for Christmas video. This is basically the lyrics of Hadestown, how Hadestown, the musical, started, how far it came. It's really good so far. I've been playing and singing the music at the same time when the lyrics of a song come up, and I love how she says, oh, I prefer this lyric more, or how this lyric changed, or how everybody decided this needed to happen. And they brought the show to a lot of places that I didn't know, and I'm really excited to read more about this and see the photos, and I just want to see Hadestown, okay? This is the closest I'm going to get right now. The next book is, I think, like, you don't need to, like, know, or you don't need to ask, but it's the Tower of Nero. I'm so sad. I'm brokenhearted that I'm gonna have to read this, and then Percy's gonna come to an end until the TV series, which is going to be like so exciting, but at the same time it's gonna be like, please, no, 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 no. But I'm hoping this is good. I haven't actually heard any spoilers from anything, which is very surprising. But I just really want to take this book slow, actually. And I'm actually reading for the first time the back of the book, and it's hardcover, so you know you get all those reviews or you get like little snippets from the book. This is all from like the gods and goddesses. So like Athena and Artemis, Demeter, Ares, Poseidon, Hades, Dionysus. I always pronounce that name wrong. And Zeus. Huh. That's odd. New thing every day. The next book I have is Romanov. And I have been wanting to read this for a while. I have 2 other Anastasia retellings. And I've said this in videos before. I love Anastasia, like the myth. I blame the 1997 movie. If they ever came out with a book like this or a book like the Hamilton book, how the 1997 cartoon or the Broadway version came to be, I would completely and totally read that. The 2 other Anastasia books I have on my shelf, and on my Kindle, but I actually read that one, and that was nonfiction. That was Nicholas and Alexandra. The other 2 and this one are historical fiction, and I can't wait to read this, and the cover is so pretty. Oh my gosh, I love this cover. Not even royal blood can stop bullets, which is like scary when you actually like think back to it. And I just really want to like pick this up right now, but I have more books that I have to focus on right now. There are a lot of, I'm now realizing I have a lot of books I've set my eyes on, and this is going to be very, very hard this year. Hopefully not, but this year I have a lot planned. The next book is actually, I talked about this a few videos ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, I think. It is the second Land of Stories book, and I mentioned how I wanted to read and finish this series. I haven't read the first one in maybe about 6-8 years. I don't remember how long. But it's called The Enchantress Returns. I didn't really read the back, so, it's Sleeping Beauty. It's something about Sleeping Beauty. So, I may have to reread the first one. I remember bits and pieces. I remember the huge plot points, but I remember really loving that one, so I may have to reread that one and then go to this one. This is actually my friend's. So I have the first book and I have the third book, and I bought those myself, and I have the third book signed by Chris Colfer, because I love Glee and I love him in Glee. And then this is actually my friend's. She was giving them away, and she's like, do you read these? I'm like, well, I have 1 and 3, and I'm meaning to read these. She's like, okay, here's 2. And I'm just like, okay, that works. She's like a huge reading fan too, so I don't mind that. The next book I'm extremely excited about. I'm very like anxious though, and I'm extremely like sad that I didn't read this right away, because I got this as a birthday gift, and I read Shadow and Bone because I thought the Shadow and Bone series was coming sooner than it was, but it isn't. And I have to read Six of Crows, but maybe that'll be later. But I was so excited for this book, and then I didn't read it, and I was just like, oh, bad Mary, bad Mary. It is 4 Days of You and Me by Miranda Connelly. Anybody who knows me loves, I know, Miranda Connelly. I love her, her 100 Oaks series. That is great. So I was so excited about this new book, which is enemies turned, acquaintances, friends, kind of, and then hopefully lovers. So this takes place over like a 4-year period, and they're they're traveling a lot with classes, and hopefully, they'll get together, but we'll see. Like, I really hope they do. And I can't wait to read this one. I think, if I'm correct, she has another one coming out this year. I don't know what that one's about, though. So I feel really bad if the synopsis has already come out. But I'm excited to read this book. If you guys saw the pile of books in front of me, then you'd be like, because some of these books are large. And then the last book I want to read in 2021, and I have to make a pile of what books I want to read because I always say, I want to read these books, and then I only read about half of them. I remember a video I made back like a few years ago that was like, oh yeah, I want to read It's Kind of a Funny Story and Aragon and a few other books, and I think I ended up reading most of them. I remember I definitely read Aragon, maybe not that year, but I definitely ended up reading it. I gave it away. I didn't like it. The It's Kind of a Funny Story book is actually up on my shelf right somewhere over here. But I'm hoping one day to actually read that book. So the next book I'm extremely excited about, and I say all of these books I'm excited about, but I'm really just hoping that all of these books that I say I'm excited about are actually really exciting books. I know a lot of them are going to be, and I feel bad because I say that for books, for TBRs, for years or months that I want to do, and I just end up not doing them. But like some of these are more exciting than others, they seem. Some of these I've been wanting to read for a while. I'm looking at you, Land of Stories and Romanoff, and 4 Days of You and Me, but most of these are like newer books. I think the only oldest book is The Land of Stories, because that's book 2, and that was like maybe 6-8 years ago, but that was a long time ago. But the next and last book I'm excited to read is One of Us Is Next by Karen McManus, and it is the sequel to One of Us Is Lying. And I really didn't expect a sequel of this, of One of Us Is Lying. I felt it wrapped up really nice. So imagine my surprise when One of Us Is Next was announced, and I was just like, okay, well, I fell in love with the character, so I can kind of see why we need it. Reading the synopsis, yeah, I mean, do we have to? But, like, it sounds interesting, but I loved One of Us Is Lying, so I obviously have to be excited for One of Us Is Next. And, this sounds really bad, because I read it 2 years ago, which is a lot more than I can say for, like, say any of the books that series that I read on my series I want to continue / finish book, video that I did a few weeks ago. But I remember some of the characters. I don't remember some of their traits. I may just have to, like, skim One of Us Is Lying. But this has to deal with an app. This has to deal with the guy who died in One of Us Is Lying. It's like a truth or dare app. And so I'm really just wondering what this book has in store, because it's kind of mysterious, and I'm really skeptical when books that really wrap up nicely have a sequel that's not needed. So I'm probably top maybe 3 excited about this, just to see what this one has in store, because wrapping up books nicely the first time around is exciting. But at the same time, I did kind of want more, because you do fall in love with these characters, and you do want more sometimes. And that's what I kind of liked about Miranda Connelly's writing. And I'm not going to compare the two because they're completely different. But you have all of these characters that are interconnected in books, and you don't think they're interconnected until you're reading book 3 after you read book 1, and then you're just like, who are these characters? And you have to go back and read book 2. No, I read book 1, 4, 2, 3. That's how it went. And I was so confused. And, but I didn't know any of the characters, like, would show up in any book. So I fell in love with characters from book 1, book 2, book 3, and occasionally they would show throughout the entire, like, series. But, you know, you fall in love with these characters, you want to see them again. I don't really mind, rereading One of Us is Lying. Even if I know the ending, I really don't mind rereading One of Us is Lying if I have to, because I'm so excited to read this, you know. So, those are the, what is that, 7 books I want to read this year. Somebody needs to remind me at the end of the year, or I need to make a note in my calendar about what books I actually read during this year. Because this year is going to be hectic, and I already know that, and it's only first week or so of January. But I want to finish all, like, the 400, 500 pages I have left of Midnight Sun. I want to finish Hadestown. I might have to reread the first book, which I loved, so I wouldn't mind. I want to finish the maybe like 400 or so, 450 pages I have left in Midnight Sun, and obviously Hadestown. The rest obviously will come, but I'm hoping to finish those 2 first. So then I get that off of my plate, because I just look at all of my huge books and I just get so overwhelmed by how big some of these are. And I'm looking at the huge Lord of Shadows, Last Magician, Lady Smoke, Prince, Dracula probably isn't as bad, but like, besides Outlander, whew, and Game of Thrones, which are both, whew, you need to take a little break after those. I think this one takes the mark. No, I'm sorry. Cassandra Clare's books, and then this book takes the mark for longest books. And then I will probably feel a heavy weight lifted from my shoulders of this huge hunking book next to me on my nightstand, waiting for me to read it while I am watching YouTube videos on my computer, or reading another book, or doing something for a website that I created that I'm so excited to tell you guys about. It's actually a website of all of my reviews. I'm probably not going to really do Goodreads anymore. I may post a Goodreads review every once in a while, but I'm going to link it down in the description. It also has little fun things like what I'm currently reading, because I don't really use Goodreads anymore. I use it every so often, but I use my website more, and it's just going to be full of reviews that I'm probably not going to put all of my reviews here. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for, oh my gosh, these books. Oh, these are heavy, but these are giving me a good arm workout. So I will let you guys get back to reading. I'm excited to hear what you guys want to read in 2021. What are your thoughts on this TBR pile? What do you want to read in 2021? What is your most anticipated release? For me, it's the 4th Graceling Realm book, which I'm so excited is coming out in like 2 weeks. Woo! But I will see you guys in another video. Bye!